This is the craziest story you're gonna hear today. eBay got exposed harassing and terrorizing their opponents in the most wild ways. To meet David and Ina Steiner. Back in 2019, their online newsletter, E-commerce Bites, it got the attention of eBay execs, but in a bad way. Because after Ina wrote a piece about a lawsuit in which eBay was accusing Amazon of poaching their sellers, eBay CEO at the time sent a message to another top executive about Ina saying, quote, "If you are ever going to take her down, now is the time." Motherfucker sounded like he was calling in a hit. So that message made its way to James Ball, who was a senior director of safety and security. And he then recruited several other employees and served as the ringleader to the most bizarre intimidation campaign you can imagine. They created fake Twitter accounts to send threatening DMs. They doxed the Steiners. They encouraged strangers to show up at their house for sex parties. And they sent increasingly disturbing packages to their home. We're talking live spiders and cockroaches, a funeral wreath, a book about surviving the death of a spouse, a fetal pig, and a bloody pig Halloween mask. And that's just naming a few. Ball even tried to break into the Steiners' garage in order to put a GPS tracker on their car. But then also, check out this crazy psycho shit. Reportedly, terrorizing and intimidation wasn't the end game. That was just part one. With reportedly the plan for the eBay employees being that they would step in to help stop the harassment and give themselves kind of the shiny white knight appearance. But ultimately, the employees ended up getting caught and charged back in 2020 and 2022, with Ball getting almost 5 years in prison and another exec getting 2, with then a grand total of 7 employees and contractors receiving felony charges for their involvement. And obviously, everyone involved was also fired. So with that, you might have noticed that it seems like someone is missing. And when you know it, the most powerful in the situation did not have to deal with the consequences, with the former CEO not facing any charges, right? Because his lawyers successfully argued that his take her down statement, it was taken out of context, though he did step down back in 2019. And as far as the reason we're talking about this today is that eBay has now agreed to pay $3 million to resolve the criminal charges brought against them by the Justice Department in connection to the case, with that including stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice. And as part of the deferred prosecution agreement, eBay accepted responsibility for their former employees' insanity. Per the terms of the agreement, they have to have things like keeping an independent monitor around to oversee the company for 3 years. With this, acting Massachusetts U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy saying, eBay engaged in absolutely horrific criminal conduct. The company's employees and contractors involved in this campaign put the victims through pure hell in a petrifying campaign aimed at silencing the reporting and protecting the eBay brand. eBay's current CEO calling the 2019 harassment, quote, wrong and reprehensible, and saying in a statement, since these events occurred, new leaders have joined the company and eBay has strengthened its policies, procedures, controls, and training. But understandably, the Steiners are not happy, posting in a statement that they were frustrated that so few top executives of the company were charged in this situation, and adding that eBay's actions against us had a damaging and permanent impact on us emotionally, psychologically, physically, reputationally, and financially. And we strongly push federal prosecutors for further indictments to deter corporate executives and board members from creating a culture where stalking and harassment is tolerated or encouraged. And so they've also filed a civil lawsuit against eBay in federal court, saying that the harassment completely upended their lives. And personally, I hope they get paid out, because what the actual fuck? How is this a real thing that happened? This is one of the most twisted reactions I've ever seen to bad coverage. And I mean, I don't even know what kind of price tag you could put on like that level of mind fuckery. But there, I'll actually pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on the story? And also, what do you think eBay should have to pay out to these guys?